Hello, this is Stan Hustad for the Christian Entrepreneur Network, tcendglobal.org. And this is part of our radio program called The Master Entrepreneur, and part of our What It Takes Radio Teach About for the Christian Entrepreneur. And we would simply like to help you make your mark in the marketplace in 2020. Now, today is Giving Tuesday, and many of you are familiar with that. In the North American continent, and it has spread around the world, we celebrate Thanksgiving, and then it turns out that what has happened is that the day after Thanksgiving is called Black Friday, and that's the shopping day. And then there is a Cyber Monday, and then you're supposed to, after you're through shopping for others and just shopping, you're supposed to get online and start shopping again. And then the idea has developed that on Tuesday, which is today, after Thanksgiving, after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, that you should give to others. So many organizations around the world then are going about and they're asking people to make an offering, make a donation, make a contribution, help support us in the good work we do on Giving Tuesday. Well, today I sent out a notice to our people that we didn't want them to give us any money today. Nope. We're going to be a little bit different. We're not asking people to give us money today. We could certainly appreciate if you would support and sponsor and perhaps make a contribution to us. We could certainly use that as we are pressing forward into 2020. But our point was that today we'd like you to not give to us, we'd like you to give to somebody else. And particularly give to somebody who's really needy. Now, we need your help, but we're not needy. We're not homeless or helpless or hungry. But there are a lot of people who are. In fact, I just had a man contact me today who just simply said, I'm unemployed and I'm going to lose my place where I can stay and I'm hungry. What can I do? Well, we're going to try and help him out. But that's who we should be giving to. At least that's a suggestion from me for today. So, in effect, don't give me any money. But on this Giving Tuesday, I'd like to give you a little bit of hope and encouragement and something that might be useful to you as we approach 2020. Here's the deal. It's been discovered that people who are working the success route, the success route, they are trying to make it in life and business, that the question is oftentimes put to people like this: would you like to write a book? And it turns out that way over 80% of the population would say, oh, I'd love to write a book. That would be so nice, boy, maybe I'd make some money, I'd become famous, make a bestseller, or if not that, I could at least get some of my ideas out there, and it'd be fun to see what would happen and meet new people, and it would certainly help build my business. I'd get more customers. Oh, it would be great if I could write a book. And that's what they believe. And many of those good things would happen. And so, I want to write a book. Well, here's the truth about that. Most of the people who say that never will, ever. And let me tell you, it's probably true for you too. Now, I've written some books, I've written here's one that got me going called You Make the Difference, and that's still a part of my shtick, is I'm trying to help you understand that before people will buy your business or your products or your services, they have to buy you. So you're always selling yourself first. And so that's an important thing to remember, an important thing to do. You make the difference, and we'll try and help you make and be that difference. So we wrote that book, and was it a lot of work and a lot of time and expense. It's hard work, really hard work. And I've written other books, and they're hard work. And there's a number of books that are inside of me and in stacks of stuff that I've written, but I just haven't gotten the time or the energy right now to see if I could put them into a book. Tough work. But let me encourage you to remember, don't write a book. You don't have to write a book today. You don't have to write it. You don't have to sit down and try and figure out something to type on the computer or to get a pen or a pencil and a pad of paper and start to write and make it happen. 2 of the best-selling books in the world were never written. They were performed. They were created. And the story is a little bit of my gift to you today. One of the best-selling books in the business world, still selling after some 80 years, is Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Many of you have heard it. Many of you have read it. It's still a bestseller today. It made it for Dale Carnegie. He was a rags to riches story. He was a poor guy who worked hard, learned how to be successful, and tried to kind of supplement his income by giving little lectures and presentations on how to be successful in business. And he did that, and oftentimes he would just simply do that in a simple place like the men and women, or particularly the young men, particularly in those days, would come to the YMCA and they would have a little nighttime lecture on how to be successful in business. Well, it turns out that one time when he was doing a series, I believe it was in a YMCA in New York, someone came up and said, you know, I'd like to help you. I'm a stenographer. I write shorthand. I'll take notes. So you just give your talk and I'll write it all out for you. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be fun. That'd be good. Maybe that could do something. Well, that's what happened. And so Dale Carnegie, in his inimitable way, he had learned how to speak in public and all those things. And when all was said and done, the lecture series, they took the stenographer's notes and the writing, and they looked at that, and someone said, there's a book here. Well, through the editing and the other process that went through, How to Win Friends and Influence People was printed and published, and the rest, of course, is history. Dale Carnegie became world famous and became very, 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 very rich and did quite well. But he didn't write the book. He performed it. He created it. He spoke it. He taught it. Think about that. Then one of those books, particularly for those of us in the Christian world, which has influenced millions of people, is a book by a man named Oswald Chambers called My Utmost for His Highest. Perhaps some of you have heard of it. Many of you probably have read it. He didn't write it. In fact, the story is that Oswald Chambers died very untimely death, quite young. Now, he had been a teacher and a speaker and a preacher of sorts, talking to people even around the world. In fact, he died in a tragic way while he was speaking in Egypt. But his life partner, his wife, who admired and loved him dearly, was also a very brilliant shorthand stenographer. And so she faithfully took notes, and his speaking, his teaching, his dictation, she collected everything that he wrote or spoke about and had a mass of notes and dictation and speaking things. And some years after Oswald Chambers' untimely death, she was able to put that together, and the world-selling book, and in fact many books followed, were published, written by Oswald Chambers. Except he didn't write them. Biddy was the one who took them, and with the help of others was able to kind of translate them, text them, and update them in a way that the world was profoundly changed by the writings of Oswald Chambers, who didn't write many books, but he published many books, most of them after his death, because he had performed them. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, by the way, I've actually done a class on a course on how to write a book using your iPhone. No computer, no pen or pencil, just use your iPhone. With today's technology, and one of the reasons I'm teaching people to be podcasters is podcasting is the best way to begin to do a book. Do 7 short podcasts and we'll find if there's a book there. Speak, teach, use the radio, use the podcast, use exactly what I'm having right now. A speaking presentation on a video, sharing it around the world, and then see if there's a book there. And what is happening is people who never thought it was possible are writing books. People in their 70s and 80s are collecting their wisdom and their thoughts and their stories. Because most good books are simply stories. And sharing them, and then someone takes them. Even a robot can take, as the robot in my phone does, take my writing and transcribe it into fairly good English. And then others can edit it and work with it and refine it. And others can help take what you performed and what you created and take it and turn it into a book. 2020 could be the year that you make your mark in your ministry, in your business, in your profession, in the things that you believe are important. You could write the book and enjoy all of the benefits thereof. But you don't write it. You perform it. And then you use the help of good people and of modern technology to take what you performed, what you created, what you taught, and put it into long-lasting, everlasting print. Just let that sit on your head for your thoughts for 2020. By the way, we can help you. We can help you do that. We do that all the time, and we want to do it for you. We do it for ourselves, and we do it for others. StanHustad@gmail.com, StanHustad@gmail.com. This is one of the services for Christian entrepreneurs that we do at the network, at the Christian Entrepreneur Nation, using What It Takes Radio for your podcasting and using the services of our talented people to help you perform and create and publish and write your book, to make your mark in the marketplace, to build your business, to be a person who leads and influences others for good, and particularly in the ways of the master entrepreneur. I challenge you, make this the year. That's my gift to you. Create and perform your book. And this time next year, December of 2020, you'll celebrate knowing, I wrote a book this year. I did it. And I use it, I give it away, and I'm encouraged by the fact that it's helping and maybe even blessing others. All of that can happen in this year. And that's my gift to you on this Giving Tuesday. Thank you.